we officially now have all the final verdicts from the Truck Series shenanigans we saw at Iowa last Sunday. How's it going, y'all? My name is Eric, and welcome to Out of the Groove. Oh man, there's a hole in this shirt. This is one of my favorite shirts, right in the armpit. Ugh, that's disappointing. I'm sad now. And we got a bunch of negative stories to talk about today. This is gonna be a sad episode, isn't it? I'll try to trickle in. I got some happy, some positive things. I'll try to trickle those in. Although there's kind of some sad stuff there too. Sorry guys, there's gonna be a lot of negativity in this episode. Oh well, let's start first with the news from yesterday. So NASCAR reached a decision as far as Johnny Sauter's penalty is concerned. Johnny Sauter, if you missed Monday's episode this last weekend in the Truck Series race, got into it with Austin Hill a little bit after Austin Hill spun him out under green. Johnny Sauter then under caution ran up and wrecked Austin Hill in retaliation under caution. That's the important thing to note here. He was parked for the rest of that race, and many people, myself included, expected him to likely get suspended for a race later this week. And sure enough, the verdict came down yesterday that yes, Johnny Sauter has been suspended for the race this weekend at Gateway, or whatever it's called, Worldwide Technologies Speedway, whatever it's called, Gateway. However, as I discussed in my episode Monday, NASCAR chose not to let this affect his playoff eligibility. So the win he had earlier this year, where he is in the points, he gets to keep all those. So as of now, he would still be locked into the playoffs. He just misses this race at Gateway. He can't collect any points for that one, and no potential stage points or playoff points or anything. So it's really just a one-race suspension, but it's not going to have any long-lasting effects going forward. I think this is the right decision from NASCAR. That's why I said Monday. I thought a one-race suspension was fair and consistent with past penalties. But I didn't think it should affect his playoff position. I thought that would be taking it a little bit too far. So I think NASCAR got this one right, but I'd be curious to know what you guys think. Some people might be a little bit confused or might be questioning, why is this not affecting his playoff eligibility? Because the way it's stated in the rulebook is that, to make the playoffs, to compete in the playoffs, you have to race, or at least attempt to race, in every single race in the season. I'll defer to this tweet from Bob Pockers that I think provides some important context. He said, the must participate every race rule was written so drivers and teams wouldn't skip races, especially after a win, potentially trying to save costs by not showing up and then saving money and equipment for playoffs. It wasn't written to keep all suspended drivers from the playoffs. And if we go and look at that actual section of the rulebook, here's the rule, it's kind of vague. Unless otherwise authorized by NASCAR, drivers and team owners must start all championship events of the current season to be eligible for the playoffs. So it's that unless authorized by NASCAR, but it's a very vague rule and it gives NASCAR the power to make, these decisions, these discretionary decisions like this, and grant waivers in a sense. Johnny Sauter's attempted to qualify for every race this year. He's been in every race this year. He's won a race this year. And if he had his way, he would be racing at Gateway this weekend. So I think this is still the right call by NASCAR. It is a part of the rulebook, as with a lot of the NASCAR rulebook, that is kind of a gray area, not super clearly defined. It allows NASCAR, some jurisdiction, the ability to make it up as they go along, so to speak. But as long as they're consistent, I think this is a good precedent to set here. I don't have a problem with it. I think they made the right call in this case. But obviously, not everyone will be pleased, but I think they got this one right. Let me know what you guys think down below. Now, Johnny Sauter did tweet this out, so he has some new plans this weekend, it seems. Change of plans, Dell's Raceway Park Saturday night, Dick Trickle 99. I like that. Hashtag support your local short track. I'll give Sauter some credit here. That's pretty cool for him, and at least for his fans who still want to see him race something this weekend. It's good to see him supporting local short tracks, like he said. So I'll give him credit there. He's making this suspension worth something, I guess. It's a one-race suspension. It's not going to carry over, have any long-lasting implications. I think this is probably the last we will end up talking about it for quite a while now, and I think that's good. I think it's past, it happened, and yeah, it is what it is. Johnny Sauter suspended for one race, but keeps his playoff eligibility. Now, I know that was kind of, negative news, talking about a driver getting suspended, and, I already got this hole in my shirt that I like, so I'm kind of grumpy about that. So I want to lighten things up. Let's add something sort of positive in here. Sunday's race at Sonoma will be Darrell Waltrip's final race as a NASCAR broadcaster. Dang, this is still sad. Don't worry, it'll get positive here. But yeah, he's been with Fox for 19 years. He's been kind of the voice of NASCAR. I know he's not the play-by-play guy. He's not the Mike Joy. He's not the Alan Bestwick, the Rick Allen. But Darrell Waltrip, I mean, the boogity 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 has made its way into popular culture more times than I can count. Whether you like or are kind of tired of his character that he puts on, you can't deny that he has been an iconic and in many ways, and I'd say in more ways than not, a positive force in NASCAR for the last nearly 2 decades. And that's just as a broadcaster. As a driver, obviously, back in the day, he was great as well. One of NASCAR's all-time winningest and most successful drivers. Darrell Waltrip's life and legacy is woven around NASCAR. And honestly, NASCAR, a lot of its life and legacy is due to the success and the personality that Darrell Waltrip brought forth every week. Now, because this is Darrell Waltrip's final race with Fox as a NASCAR commentator, broadcaster, I've seen a couple drivers that are running special Darrell Waltrip throwback tribute paint schemes for Sunday's race. A couple of Fords, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Now, this one's cool because Darrell Waltrip actually drove the 17 for many years, so this is a really neat throwback scheme. But also David Reagan here, similar kind of paint scheme as well, another Darrell Waltrip tribute thing. Now, David Reagan's is cool because if we zoom in, kind of know this isn't a great picture, but if we zoom in on the hood, you can see that actually has Darrell Waltrip on the hood of the race car with the words boogity, 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 and on the side, hashtag thanks DW. So that's a really cool gesture from Front Row Motorsports, David Reagan, everyone on that 38 team. That's really cool to see. So that's what I'm saying. There's some positives out of it. There's some cool things. We get to see some throwback paint schemes on a race not named Darlington. And now I'm sure Fox is going to play up on Sunday. They're going to play up the fact that's DW's last race, that's Darrell Waltrip's final race in the booth. I'm sure they're going to play it up. But in my opinion, I say let Darrell have his moment. Let Darrell Waltrip have this moment to kind of reminisce and enjoy all the great things he's done in his career on and off the track. I know some people are tired of him. I know a lot of people aren't, the biggest fan of his commentary. But I say let him have this moment. He has been a very positive force in this sport for a very long time. And I think it's fair to give him one final hurrah this weekend. And I say just let him enjoy it. And if it really bothers you that much, hey, NBC starts up in a couple weeks. I think you can miss one race if that really bothers you. I'm not really a fan of the whole, if you don't like something, don't watch mentality. I think it's good to offer constructive criticism to something that if you care about it. But in this case, Darrell Waltrip, he's not going to commentate again. So he can't really take any of your constructive criticism to heart because he's never going to get another chance to use it. He's not commentating again, so what's he going to do with this criticism, with you guys' suggestions or comments? He's not going to do anything with them, so I'd say just let Darrell Waltrip have his fun for one afternoon and try not to let it bother you too much. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think most fans who are still fans of DW, I think most fans like Darrell Waltrip still in the booth in some way, shape, or form. I think it'll be fun. I think there's going to be a lot of great moments to reminisce. Leave it down in the comments, actually. What's your favorite call from Darrell Waltrip, favorite moment? He's had a lot of great sound bites over the years, but I'd be curious to know what you guys' favorite moments are of him in the booth specifically, because he's got a lot of memorable moments, and I think he will be missed. I think, honestly, I don't know who Fox is going to put in the booth to replace him next year, but whoever it is, I don't think they're going to be able to live up to DW, at least not at first. They're going to have tough shoes to fill. That's a big hole that they're going to try and step into and fill the void of. But yeah, thank you, Darrell Waltrip, for all your contributions to NASCAR. Ever since I've been a fan, at least, he has been the commentator, one of the commentators at Fox. So for half the Sundays a year, ever since I've been a NASCAR fan, I hear his voice filling my eardrums with his boogity boogities and everything. So I can appreciate what he's done, and yeah, hope he has a happy retirement. Now the last bit of news, and it's another kind of negative report, but not anything that I think was too surprising. I didn't, expect anything that different. But earlier this morning, Ross Chastain and Nice Motorsports had their appeal heard by NASCAR. Remember, Sunday at Iowa, Chastain won the Truck Series race, but then was found to be too low. The front end was too low in post-race inspection, so he had the win taken away. Brett Moffitt was then named the winner because per the rule book now with NASCAR's new rules this year, if you fail inspection and you're the winner, no longer is it ruled an encumbered win. Nope, you just get the win taken away. This is something fans asked for, so I don't want to see too many fans complaining that the rule is unfair now. Per the rule book, Chastain had his win taken away, all the points with it, all the money and everything with it taken away, given to Brett Moffitt. Chastain was given last place points, last place finish, all that type of stuff. But they had the option to appeal the penalty, and sure enough they did. Nice Motorsports appealed the penalty, and their testimony, I guess, was heard earlier this morning. But the ultimate verdict has come out, and NASCAR has upheld the penalty that they assigned to them Sunday afternoon. So Chastain still is not the winner, and Brett Moffitt confirmed now was the winner from last weekend's Iowa race. Now yesterday, before the final appeal was held, Ross Chastain went on SiriusXM NASCAR radio to kind of plead his case a little bit, and I thought he said some interesting things.
I'm not backing down from the fact that we beat everybody, and that I'm standing by that our tech height it does not affect the on track product that our race truck was, and our race truck was the fastest.
So you can hear there the infraction that they were ultimately penalized for. Chastain does not feel like that actually gave them an advantage, and he felt like that's why he felt at least that the penalty should have been lessened or possibly completely rescinded. But as we found out this morning, nope, NASCAR has upheld the penalty. It doesn't sound like any further penalties are coming down the pipeline, because there is always a risk of possible further penalties for something like this. But no, none of that. Just no win for Chastain. He still has, I guess, 6 more races, I think, starting this weekend at Gateway to get a win and make his way into the top 20 in points. I still don't think the top 20 in points will be a big deal, but getting that win in 6 races, I mean, he made it look easy at Iowa, but I don't know. It's still going to be pretty tricky. There's a lot of competitive trucks out there, and I'm still not convinced that the Nice Motorsports car or truck that he's driving is a top team. I think they have great races from time to time, but I don't know if they can do it consistently, so there's still some concern there. It's harder to win these things than some of these guys make it look. Now, Nice Motorsports put out a statement earlier this afternoon after the decision was announced. They said, "Although our team disagrees with the decision, we have exhausted our options for recourse and must move on. Our sights will remain set on the obstacle in front of us, which is making the playoffs. I firmly believe that Ross and this Nice Motorsports team are capable of rising to the challenge no matter what gets in our way." That's from the owner of the team, and then you can see there at the bottom, Ross Chastain is very focused on this next weekend's race. Just back to business. That's what it is. It's just back to business. Go out there and win another race. He's won 2 this year, technically, kind of. Well, I guess technically now 1 win, but he's finished first in 2 races this year. Anyway, he's won this year a couple times. He's shown that he can win races in the Truck Series, and so I think it's very likely they get another one in these next 6, but this is definitely, like I said Monday, it's a backbreaker because the celebration Sunday afternoon was incredible. It was incredible to see Ross Chastain rise to the occasion, overcome these obstacles, and really dominate in a race truck that isn't supposed to dominate. I mean, it's just, again, showing how Ross Chastain, I think, has been underrated for the last couple of years, and is finally starting to get the recognition that he probably deserved all along. It's a tough situation for Ross Chastain. I said Monday how he's kind of become like the unluckiest driver in NASCAR because it just feels like anytime something goes well for him, getting a good ride with Ganassi, winning a race here at Iowa, something happens to kind of just destroy it all. Sponsor going bankrupt, or obviously the penalty here that was not of Chastain's doing. People are saying like, oh, how can you be feeling bad for Ross Chastain? He cheated, and I'm like, Ross Chastain did not cheat. The driver does not set up the truck, and in a lot of ways, I don't even think the team knowingly cheated in this case. I think there are instances where the team knowingly has cheated in NASCAR in the past, and some of those have been glaringly obvious. I think there are other issues where it's just a part fails, or maybe something happens during the race that the team wasn't expecting, or that the team didn't notice, that changes the way a truck is set up and changes how it sets up for final inspection. I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and say that the team, I still don't know that the team knowingly cheated. I would say they didn't. I think they did not mean for the truck to be too low in post-race, and I think they were surprised by it. So I definitely don't think Ross Chastain knowingly knew his truck was going to be illegal. I think this day and age, with the way inspection is, with how closely NASCAR examines things, it's very hard to get away with an obviously illegal car or truck, and I don't see how you could knowingly cheat in NASCAR today, knowing that there's such a good chance that they're going to take everything away, especially with the rules the way they are now, where if you win a race, it's not just an encumbered win where you still keep the money and stuff. Now it's straight up you lose the win and finish in last. Like, that's a huge risk. I just don't see a team knowingly cheating like this, especially one in the position of Nice Motorsports, where they desperately need not just a win, but they need good finishes as well, because this bad finish hurt their pursuit of getting in the top 20. So I'm not going to sit here and say that they knowingly broke the rules and so they deserve this penalty. I mean, they deserve the penalty because they were out of parameters. They failed inspection, but I'm not going to sit here and condemn the whole team as cheaters. It's not like this team has a history of bending the rules like this and having penalties. So I'm going to leave it at that. I feel bad for Ross Chastain, and I do kind of feel bad for the team, but I think they'll get it going. I think they still got 6 races. They got 2 months or so to win another race. I think they have a very good shot at doing it. Anyway, y'all, that's my show. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter. You can check out down by the description how you can get yourself an Out of the Groove t-shirt. They hold up better than this shirt, I guess. I'll tell you that much. Although this shirt's many years old. I guess it was bound to get a hole somewhere at some point. I'll have to get a new one because I like this shirt way too much for it to go down like this. But then, of course, a big thank you to my Patreon supporters: Michael Harrison, at You As The Stars, Mentally Defective Cameron James, John Koblenz, Wesley Donaldson, Isaac Dennison, Mika Suzuki, iFantasyRace.com, TheRacingInsiders.com, Adam Lean, Matthew Koulopoulos, Pepe Luscious, and the rest of these awesome Patreon supporters. Thank you all so much for continuing to support me and support the show. I couldn't do this without you guys, so thank you. I'll be back later this week. I have at least one more episode planned for this week. I know I've been uploading a lot, but we've had a lot of news with the Truck Series stuff happening. Busier off week than I expected, but it's been a lot of fun, and I appreciate all you guys' support, and thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys again very soon. Have a good one, everyone.